I'm Claire O'Neill, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you why restaurants, bars, and retail stores are all seeing an increase in their number of customers next. I'm Claire O'Neill, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll give you an update on some campus carry bills that have gone through the West Virginia legislature. More than a year ago, the Helltail's only activity consisted of a liquidation sale to sell all historic pieces inside. Now it's back up and running and ready for the next visitors to come and stay for a night or two. According to a recent study, 78% of college students actively oppose allowing guns on campus, as well as 90% of college presidents and staff. And here at West Virginia University, many actively oppose allowing new campus carry bills. So what can we expect West Virginia's 100% capacity to look like? Parking lots that were once desolate are now starting to look like this. Public gatherings have now increased to 100 people instead of under 75. And if someone's worried about meeting in person for a socially distanced date, apps like Bumble are offering a video chat feature to help you confidently connect with your matches. 1 in every 24 students are without a home in West Virginia, and without a proper roof over their head, it can be hard to get by. Luckily, counties can apply for grants that are able to support and supply youth homeless with resources. Jillian, Zach, believe it or not, this time last year, we were being asked to stay home and quarantine because of the pandemic. And in West Virginia, it marks 1 full year since we went into lockdown. But a lot can happen in a year. We're no longer staying home with family and pets. And with Governor Jim Justice's recent announcement to open stores and other public gathering areas back up to 100% capacity, we're able to go out and experience life like we once did before COVID hit, but with just a little more caution and some masks involved in the process. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice announced that restaurants, bars, retail stores, and other gathering areas can now return to a full 100% capacity. But with 50,000 new COVID-19 cases reported per day in the United States, some residents say the Mountain State may be acting too soon on its journey to return to normalcy.
I feel safer if it is not full capacity until we reach a sort of herd immunity.
A lot of people, especially students, when they go party, during weekends, they don't care at all. They go party, they go to bars and without wearing masks.
Coronavirus expert Dr. Anthony Fauci believes that until the U.S. has fewer than 10,000 new daily cases, states shouldn't ease restrictions. However, West Virginia's numbers are lower than most, with a vaccination rate ranked among the highest in the world, and with over 200,000 residents fully vaccinated at a percentage of 14%, Dr. Lisa Costello says she's hopeful for the future.
As we continue to see more people to be vaccinated, that we continue to see better control of the disease, that we will be able to have more businesses open safely and be able to have an improvement in our economy.
So what can we expect West Virginia's 100% capacity to look like? Parking lots that were once desolate are now starting to look like this. Public gatherings have now increased to 100 people instead of under 75. Though some may not be ready to step back into those larger crowds, others say it's time restrictions be lifted because of the isolation and loneliness that can be caused during the pandemic.
People's got to live. Being locked up, after being like in prison.
I think that society is looking for their relief. They're tired of being confined. They want to be able to move about, interact with people, and get back to normal society.
Justice says wearing a mask and staying socially distant are still mandatory at all locations. West Virginia is one over 10 states that have opened back to full capacity. The Mountain State has also successfully administered over 700,000 vaccines and recently expanded its vaccine eligibility to all essential workers ages 16 and older. Governor Justice encourages all West Virginians to be vaccinated. You can pre-register by going to vaccinate.wv.gov or by calling the number below. Jillian, Zach, back to you both at the Waterfront Studio. Jillian, Zach, the hospitality and tourism industry has seen a major loss in service during the pandemic, with hotels remaining nearly 500,000 jobs below the industry's pre-pandemic employment level of 2.3 million employees in 2020. However, as more people continue to get vaccinated in West Virginia, many are starting to travel again. And May just checking to the recently renovated Hotel Morgan. This 96-year-old building has been providing hospitality to guests in the heart of downtown Morgantown since 1925. And this 2020 version modernizes it, but still includes some of its historic charm. After almost 2 years of renovations, these doors have finally reopened. On March 23rd, Hotel Morgan celebrated its grand reopening with Governor Jim Justice in attendance, and visitors from all across the East Coast are now coming to stay and are more than happy with its new look.
It definitely has like the old and the modern, which I think is definitely something that people are attracted to in terms of like aesthetic, but they want that smaller town feel as well.
It's very stylish, has a lot of retro kind of elements to it. You know, the refrigerator looks like an old-fashioned refrigerator, you know, but little, small scale.
A bar and coffee area, 24-hour gym, guest rooms, boardrooms, vintage chandeliers, and a 3,200 square foot ballroom are just a few of the many things featured inside the newly renovated hotel. More than a year ago, the hotel's only activity consisted of a liquidation sale to sell all historic pieces inside. Now it's back up and running and ready for the next visitors to come and stay for a night or two. During the pandemic, the hospitality and tourism industry has seen a huge decline, with luxury hotels performing the worst, with only 21% hotel occupancy in December 2020, compared to 68% in December 2019. However, as more COVID-19 vaccines begin to be administered throughout the United States, Hotel General Manager Robert Mickey believes he expects to see more customers checking in sooner rather than later.
The West Virginia State Department of Tourism has stated that over 68% people in the tri-state area plan to travel 100 to 150 miles over the next 6 months, and we look forward to welcoming them to Hotel Morgan.
The last of the renovations is set to be completed in the fall, where another ballroom will be featured on the top floor. Hotel Morgan and other hotels across the country are continuing to improve. Recent information from hotel data tracker STR shows that over 21 million rooms were sold per week over the past few weeks, with hotel occupancy averaging to almost 60%. If you wish to stay at Hotel Morgan, you can reserve a room at hotelmorgan.com. Jillian, Zach, back to you both at the Waterfront Studio. Jillian, Zach, there's no denying there's an epidemic of gun violence in the United States, with shootings happening in recent weeks in cities like Indianapolis, Boulder, and Atlanta. And according to a recent study by NPR, the U.S. now has the 32nd highest rate of gun violence in the world. This draws concerns from many who oppose campus carry on college campuses. Across the nation, there are 11 states that allow campus carry, 16 that prohibit it, and 23 states that permit colleges to make their own rules to allow or ban campus carry on campus. And West Virginia is one of those 23, with West Virginia University openly opposing any new campus carry bills. Campus carry on college campuses continues to make headlines. The West Virginia legislature has 4 bills that would allow concealed carry on campus. And with approximately 11 states permitting guns on campus, WVU student Connor Krause believes the Mountain State should do the same.
You know, as long as people are behaving properly, I mean, if you're an 18 to 25-year-old, you're an adult, you know. I believe most people are good. I don't think something bad would happen from carrying guns.
But as deadly shootings happen across the nation, WVU student Grace Alvarez believes passing a bill to allow concealed carry on campus could only weaken her safety.
To me, especially as a minority, because I'm half Hispanic, it makes me feel a little nervous for my own safety. And I know that sometimes things can get complicated, and there's also a power imbalance, I feel like, depending on who gets to hold like that arm with them.
According to a recent study, 78% of college students actively oppose allowing guns on campus, as well as 90% of college presidents and staff. And here at West Virginia University, many actively oppose allowing new campus carry bills. West Virginia University President Gordon Gee expressed his concerns on the bills in a letter sent to state senators. And with a school comprised of mostly 30,000 young college students, WVU Vice President of Strategic Initiatives Rob Alsop says the university believes students often engage in conduct that would be significantly more dangerous by concealed weapons.
We know that there's a lot more issues of depression, or at least reported and diagnosed mental health issues and depression on campus. And so there is a fear that more weapons available on campus could lead to bad results.
The 85th legislative session is now over, and all 4 campus carry bills have failed for the second time. Although these 4 bills have fell through, there have been strong debates over the bills in the past, such as in the 2019 legislative session. WVU Vice President of Strategic Initiatives Rob Alsop told me it's possible a campus carry bill could be passed in the near future, but that the WVU Government Relations team will continue to monitor the issue and any other bill, amendment, or policy that allows guns on campus. Jillian Zach, back to you both at the Waterfront Studio. Jillian Zach, before the COVID-19 pandemic, there was another epidemic in the United States, youth homelessness. It's estimated that 4.2 million kids and young adults experience homelessness each year. But the only way to meet new people safely is no longer in person, it's virtually. Dating sites are seeing a surge during the pandemic. If you or someone you know is homeless, there are resources available. If you go to the address at the bottom of your screen, you'll find shelters and services available to help the homeless. This includes rental assistance programs, emergency food, and medical referrals.